Every child must hear the word no in the course of their lives. Now, that's a controversial statement. I'm going to explain why in just a moment. I'm Dr. Scott Turansky. One of the books I've written is called Say Goodbye to Whining, Complaining, and Bad Attitudes in You and Your Kids. You can find it on Amazon. You can buy it at my website, biblicalparenting.org. It's a fun book that brings customer service back home, teaches children the biblical concept of honor, and it changes the way they relate. Accepting no as an answer is a very important skill that we all must learn. Because what it does is when we hear the word no, then it moves into that place of our heart called disappointment. And every person must have a plan for disappointment. Children start there and they grow into the skill of handling disappointments. There are three big emotions that all children need to have a plan for. They're anger, disappointment, and anxiety. So disappointment is one of those children must learn to handle in their lives. And they learn to handle it when someone says to them, no, you can't do this. Now, there's a movement in education today that says we don't say no to kids. You need to give children choices or you're going to distract them. But just think about what happens inside of the heart when all you're doing is distracting children and say, hey, I've got something else for you to do. Or we say you can do this or that. What we're doing is we're appealing to the selfishness in children, the things they want. And they don't really hit up against the limits in life. There are limits in life, and disappointment is part of every person's life, and a child learns that by hearing the word no. Well, now let me give a caveat. There are some parents that only say no, and they're saying no, no, no all the time. That's not helpful, and maybe that's why there's this reaction education to never saying no. But it's not helpful to never say no. We must say no to children at times and then teach them how to deal with the disappointment inside of their hearts. Why? Because it teaches them to learn to live within limits. They're going to need this. If at some day they're going to be on a budget, they need to learn to live within limits. Or they're going to be on a diet, they need to learn to live within limits. Every person must learn to live within limits. It's just a sense of contentment and gratefulness that takes place inside of a person's life for what they have, instead of always wanting to go outside of the boundaries. One of the challenges with teenagers is they want to exceed the boundaries of society or family values for two reasons. One is for pleasure, or the other is for identity, and they have a hard time living within the limits. So we teach children how to respond to the limits of life. Maybe we need to say to them something like this. When I say no to you, here's your response. You need to say, I'm disappointed, but that's okay. When we're teaching children how to accept no as an answer, we're doing something much bigger than just dealing with the common issues of family life. We're training children in one of the most important areas of their life to be able to experience contentment that will contribute to much greater peace in their life over time.